Well, Alex Mobley, thanks so much for joining us on the Double Triple podcast today. It's been a pleasure working with you over really now 8 weeks. We're obviously been working together as well, and you've actually come on board at Double Triple to be a bit of a mentor coach because you've just flown
Yeah.
through the program as well. So we're obviously really excited to draw out your story today on really where you started and what sparked your interest in tech sales. And we'll go through as well. Obviously, you're 2 weeks into your current role, and we're super excited to hear how that's all going. But I think to
Yeah.
kick off, Alex, tell us about who you are, where you're based, and I guess what sparked the original conversation to just join tech sales.
Yeah. Well, I'm so happy to be here. Thanks so much, Kayla, for inviting me on the podcast. Also, has it already been or only been 8 weeks?
Probably less, to be honest.
I was, what? It feels like it's been like 6 months. That is
It does.
crazy.
I know.
That is
I know.
insane. Oh my, I cannot believe like time has just flown by. But to answer your question, so yes, I'm Alex. I am located in Atlanta, Georgia, the US. And what sparked my interest getting into tech sales, honestly, my mom. So my mom is my best friend, and she wants the best for me. I just most recently came from being a nanny. And so in that role, I loved it. I was really attached to the kids and the family that I worked for, but I was just realistic with myself that there was no growth path. Outside of them having more babies and everything, there was always going to be a cap to what I could make. And best case scenario, we're talking maybe 100K a year, and that's best case scenario. So and also, I don't know, this may sound kind of like cliche or dramatic, but also I was approaching, a big milestone birthday, and I was just like, what am I going to do with my life? Like, I need to kind of figure out what it is that I want to do and regroup and figure out what that is. So again, I bring it back to my mom. She was like, you need to look into tech sales. And she told me, she was like, I followed this girl on Instagram named Kayla, and she's now getting into, she was like, I'm pretty sure she just started, but she's taking clients. So go ahead and book the call and see what they're talking about. And that's really where I came from. So I booked the call, spoke with Gabe. At first, I was a little apprehensive, but obviously it worked out for me. And I couldn't be more satisfied with my experience with Double Triple.
Yeah, no, that's great. Me and Gabe have very different sales
Oh, for
differences.
sure.
And it's always funny the different clients that we've brought on as well. But I think sales is really exciting because it's just you find your own style, how you like to do it as well.
For
Um,
sure.
tell us,
Yeah.
tell us about though, like I think someone asked me yesterday, what are the most successful clients done that have gone through your program? Like what makes them stand out? And for me, obviously working with you, Alex, it's like, first of all, you're very articulate, you're very coachable, you have like the grit and the tenacity to like not need hand holding and things like that. And I do really
Thank
think
you.
like previous skills obviously have, I think, made you now already like and for context, like Alex had 2 job offers within 2 weeks, right? And we'll get into that in a moment. However,
Yeah.
like you obviously did have some service sales representative skills before getting being into a
Nannying.
professional nanny. So tell
Yeah.
us like about that starting point, and then also even like the skills that you feel like you even picked up as a professional nanny to now, I guess like the traits that have now led you to tech sales as well.
Yeah, for sure. So I started my like first big girl job in automotive service sales. So basically, it was in the automotive service or the automotive, yeah, service industry. And I was basically a service advisor. So whenever I'm sure it kind of works the same way in Australia. But whenever like you come in the dealership, you have concerns about your vehicle, I was always the person in the desk. I would get you checked in and make sure you're taken care of from there. So in that role, it was a commission-based role. So I really had to learn how to build trust quickly and also just like convince clients, to commit to additional services. And I feel like that's an art in and of itself because it's like you have to do it in a way that doesn't come off as pushy, but it's like at the same time you have to get those upsells because your like money is kind of relying on that. So I feel like with that, again, just building trust quickly, learning how to communicate things to customers in ways that made sense to them. Most people, especially, I mean, yeah, most people, when they come into the dealership, a lot of times they're coming in for small jobs, just realistically. People would come in just for an oil change and we're expecting to be in and out. But in that role, our technicians would do a multi-point inspection on the vehicle and it would always come back, or typically it would come back with more additional services needed. So it's like a lot of people, though, they don't understand cars. They don't know. And honestly, I didn't understand cars either. And I was in the role. So it was just my job to talk to the technicians who were experts on the vehicles and relay the message back to the customer and also letting them know, like, yes, there may be 10 recommended services, but like, hey, we can just maybe do two today, and just learning. I really learned how to handle objections, which is huge in this role. And yeah, I think that that's pretty transferable too. And I really highlighted that in my interview processes with these tech companies.
Totally. Yeah, I think you did a really good job at that. And I know, we'll walk through a little bit how we actually helped like land the role or navigate sort of the company that you also selected. However, even when we first spoke with you, right, I remember, you were almost like underplaying a little bit like what you were doing. And then it's like really
Yeah.
drawing out those exact skills, like the 100 calls or like following people up and, to
Mhm.
demonstrate through that interview process, the capabilities and skills like multitasking, managing, difficult clients on the go, someone's waiting, how do you service them, make sure they have a good experience. And I think
For
whether
sure.
you come from, yeah, like a representative role, call contact center, these are all great skills that you have to navigate through your first couple years in tech sales.
Yeah.
Um, while like, and I know you mentioned your mum suggested tech sales, and I think you were probably at a bit of a life transformation period where it's like coming up to whatever age you felt where it's like, oh, what do you want to do as the next step? You were earning actually
Mhm.
great money as a professional nanny too. Like I know
Yeah.
the thing was you were capped, but it was like I think you were earning pretty
Solid
great money
salary.
for your role, for your age. Sorry.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, and so what was the like what was the thing where your mum picked up even tech sales and also like why she felt like you should do it? Or was it just like a whole synergy thing that it just cascaded to us working together?
So, very similar, like, to myself. My mom is all about the money.
Yeah,
So she's like, we gotta get this money. We gotta, we gotta go where the money is." So honestly, I mean, I think she had heard of tech sales even before she landed on your page. Like she follows this page on Instagram. I can't remember what it's called, but basically it's like an anonymous thing. People submit like how I spent like they submit their salary and then it like goes down and it talks about like what their expenses are, but it's all anonymous. And so
that's
somebody
cool.
like multiple times, there has been people in tech sales. So it says their career or it says their role, and then it says like their salary, and then it breaks down all of their bills. And I don't know what it's called, but yeah. So she loves that, and she's like, I don't know, these people. I think that's maybe where she first heard it. It's like
Nice.
these people are making like $300,000 a year. Like, and then it also says their age too on the Instagram. So it's like 28 years old, 300K a year.
Yeah,
I was like, that could be you.
totally,
You
totally.
need to like, yeah. And then I guess some way, somehow she found your page and she was like, you need to do this. I think it would
Yeah.
be good for you. So,
Nice. No, well, that was awesome, and it's been awesome working with you along the journey as well. So we'll fast forward now. So it's like you had a bit of sales experience in like the service side of things, like the
mhm.
customer experience. I think you would have learned a lot there. You then go into a professional nanny, and the responsibility of doing that role is huge, right? Like you having to
Huge.
mind. I think you had like 3 children that you had to look after, all different ages, and so I think the empathy and the skill set that you also learn from that role, like my sister also came from a similar background to you, Alex, but did it
Mhm.
opposite. It was like childcare, then what you were doing, then into tech sales, then the other way
Gotcha.
around.
Okay.
And so where when you obviously joined Double Triple, and I felt like it was quite so like for everyone listening to, Alex joined our tech sales launchpad sort of program that we offer, and basically from day one, Alex like was a similar thing we were just discussing. You're excited to jump on the calls, and your first 2 weeks at your tech company now. Alex
Mhm.
was already into like day one of like attacking exactly what we were needing. We were advising you to do. So tell us
Yep.
a little bit about, I guess, even that whole experience. The really like it. I know and it also feels like so long ago, and
Right.
also because it happened all so quickly. But just
Yeah.
draw out some stories of your experience working myself, Gabe, and then I guess going through the two opportunities that you had and making that decision on which one you went with.
Oh gosh, this might be a long-winded answer because I
Please,
feel like it's so many
the floor's
parts
over
to
to
it.
you.
There's
Yeah.
so many parts to that question. So, first, as I kind of mentioned before, when I had my first call with Gabe, I was a little apprehensive, especially because you guys are in a whole different part of the world. And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, y'all sound confident that you can help me land a job, but you are not in the US. So I'm like, I'm telling you, in the US, people have been struggling to find jobs forever. And this is in every industry. Everybody has been struggling. The unemployment rates are at all-time high. I'm like, I don't know. I need some convincing on this end. But obviously they convinced me and I, signed up.
No, well, I would say you came back with a lot of thorough questions that we
Oh, I
had to.
did.
It
I
was,
definitely
yes, it wasn't a we didn't get Alex on a one hit call. There was a bit
no.
of back and forth, but
There was
we
some
got
back and
there.
forth. Yeah. Yes. So that was that. But as soon as I started, I mean, the level of care that you guys have and had and have now, it was huge. Like I just really appreciated the follow-up. Y'all were always available. I mean, obviously with the time differences, I mean, that's understandable. Any questions that I had, there were no dumb questions. It's like I could always reach out, I could always ask, and y'all were just very supportive along the entire process. I never felt like y'all were throwing me out to the wolves and me having to figure it out myself. I really enjoyed our one-on-ones every week. They were always informative. The role plays were so helpful. I don't know what I would have done without the role plays. Especially just being somebody brand new to the industry. It's like I have no idea where to start. I didn't know anything about tech sales when I signed up, other than the fact that there was a huge growth path and the people were making good money. So it's like just learning, even from week one, just learning like, okay, what is tech sale? I never even heard of what an SDR was. So I didn't
Mhm.
even know that was the entry level role. I did no research. Well, I did a little research, but I didn't know what that was. So like even y'all explaining to me exactly what the role is and then the growth path. Cause again, I knew that there was a growth path, but I didn't know what that looked like and what the roles in each space looked like. So I mean, I learned a lot through you guys, and I feel like I could not have done it without y'all. Oh, another thing too, as you know, I didn't even have a LinkedIn profile when I started with y'all. Like I was like, what do I do here? I had no clue. You guys helped with everything. You helped with my about section, my first post, just really getting me up and running. And obviously it worked well. Same with my resume. I mean, I had a resume, but it was pretty much tailored to just my nannying.
Mhm.
Because when I, got out of the service advisor work into nannying, I didn't like leave that part on there. So we had to kind of do all that from scratch. So I mean, it was very bare bones when I started. But again, the support and the communication, I mean, and always too, you guys have always been like just very high energy, supportive, like just like go team go. And that means a lot though. Like I think I
Yeah.
kind of have like I like affirmation. So
Mhm.
I think that you guys definitely provide that. And it means a lot.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Alex. I think we were definitely took a very accelerated path with yourself,
Yeah.
and but you had. I think there was some days where it was a bit like not overwhelming at all, but because like the thing what people are
Yeah.
going through, right? It's like you're managing your full time job as well doing this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like people joining it, it is a lot of effort, and the greatest minds go to tech. Like it's a
Mhm.
very high performing profession. And as you know, like there are 100 applications at these companies. And like, what are you doing to
Or
stand out?
500. Yeah.
500. Yeah. And like,
Yeah.
so like from everyone listening, and like this is the difference as well that I saw from you as well, is like, what made you different? I think you did unique things to land the role, and I'll let
Mhm.
you share the story here, but like you did such a good job at outreaching to people on LinkedIn in a very strategic way. Like you weren't
Yeah.
reaching out to people saying like just, hey, can you submit my referral, because it's too pushy, and why would they do that for you?
That's
However,
insane. I cannot
however,
imagine just
yeah,
like first message asking like, "Hi, I've applied to this role. Can you refer me?" What?
yeah.
That is insane. I can't believe people do that.
No, exactly. And I think you just did it in such a methodical way of how you approached it. I think
Mhm.
you ultimately had, I think like there was actually more like 4 or 5 interviews that you had. However, like
Mhm.
we won't mention
Yeah.
any names or anything like that, but it's almost like it came down to 2 offers that you had. And I think two
Mhm.
both were great, and I think you ended up landing the one that, because what we do at Double Triple, it's obviously educate you and teach you on like startup scale up and like the hyper growth and what
Yeah.
it could look like on day one and why this company. But ultimately, it needs to be a gut intuition that you decide on.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I think you navigated that really well. And you had two
I kind of
opposite
like dropped the
great.
ball on y'all too. Like, I think y'all thought that I was going with the other one because the last we
Ah,
talked about, and y'all didn't even
I
know I
wasn't
did the last
surprised.
interview. Yeah. And then I was like, I have something to tell you.
No, and I think it all worked out perfectly.
Yeah,
But is there
for
anything
sure.
that you want to share on like even like I would love for you to even share like the interview process that you had to go through with each one, or maybe some lessons for other people that you could shed some light on.
Yeah. So the biggest thing is like you want to go into these interviews prepared, especially as somebody who has no experience in the industry. So it's like it's going to be a lot of work. I'm just going to be transparent. It's not just going to be showing up, hoping for the best, going with the flow. No, you need to be preparing for each round. And that's why I really like that Kayla and Gabe suggest really to like as soon as you get done with the first interview, try to get clarity on the next steps. So one, get clarity like, are y'all gonna pick me for the next step? Kind of in a way.
Mhm,
Like we have a way of saying that in interviews,
mhm,
but also like, okay, what are the next steps so we can prepare accordingly. So I think that that's number one. Having your story down. I'm still preaching this now. Like you have to have your story down. I think that you really probably won't get past the first stage if your story does not flow well. I think that that's what recruiters are really looking for is a solid story. So we always say, like, tell me about yourself,
mhm.
why tech sales and why this company. Like you have to be strong on those
Totally.
3 questions for sure. And those 3 questions will come up pretty much in every stage of the interview process as well. So that's something I still preach to this day.
Mhm,
But again, yes, just being prepared, making sure you are asking thoughtful questions. And I mean, again, my experience was just so helpful because I had y'all to guide me along the way. Again, I don't think I could have done this without you guys. I would be looking crazy. I don't know what to say. I don't know, and it's like, I mean, it's just even, it's like you guys have gone through this. Y'all have, y'all were top performing people at your companies and you guys know what people are looking for as well, so that is
mhm,
like a really good hack to have people like you who know what they're looking for. So just the role plays were so helpful. And especially, oh my God, like I said, it's a lot. I mean, like when I was in that interview process, I was locked in. Like I really
you were
was,
so locked in.
I, I was staying up late. Like I was practicing my answers. I'm like, okay, these are the possible answers. And that's the thing is like, you never know for sure what they're going to ask you. So it's like, you need to be prepared generally with multiple questions. And so that's just, it's a lot, I will say. But the first step is always landing the interview. So it's like, how do you stand out? And like you were saying, I did a great job, but that was because of your advice. Like I would have had no clue. Again, I had no LinkedIn prior to this. So
Mhm,
the one thing that I did do, I for this one company that I was really excited about, I reached out to a current AE at the company. I expressed my interest and my excitement about the role, let him know I had already applied, and also sent a customized Loom video that I had created, really just discussing my excitement about the company. I kind of did that. Tell me about yourself, why tech sales, why the company in that video. That's kind of the way I
mhm,
structured it. I sent it off and I got connected with that current AE, and he was very impressed with that. And he also gave me the email to his manager, his so the hiring manager, as well as the lead recruiter. And so that got me an interview. And as soon as I sent it to the manager, he emailed me pretty quickly and he was like, hey, Alex, nice to meet you and nice touch. And I know he was
mhm.
talking about the video. you know, he was like, and then he said the recruiter's name. Well, he put her name and then he said, we'll take it from here with your first interview. So it's like I essentially was able to skip the recruiter phase because I got directly in touch with him. So Yeah.
It's so good, and I think the and I'm really keen now or just before we jump into that, I think 2 things is, like, almost like the skills that we taught you too is, like, now you're currently doing in your current role,
Yeah.
right? And so, like, I remember just, like, I love that, I always, like, joke because it's just, like, if someone said to you, like, why should they hire you?" It's just like, "Well, I did all the outreach what I'm gonna do in my current role." So,
Yeah,
you
and,
did that
like,
really great.
being in my current role and, like, being in a room with the lead recruiter and my
Mhm,
manager and my now manager, they were saying, they were like, "Yeah, that's the biggest thing is, like, we knew that we wanted to hire you, like, pretty much after seeing the video," because it's, like, the
yeah,
fact that she was like, they had never seen it. They've never seen that. They've never heard a loom, none of them.
mhm.
Like, all the people, like, that were kinda in discussion about me, they
Yeah.
said that they had never heard of that, and at first, she was like, should we open this link? Like, I don't know, because she's very like
Yeah,
like my company is
fair,
very like
fair.
high on security. Like they're very
Yeah,
strict on security. And so
y
she asked IT, she was like, I don't know, should we should we open
yeah,
the video? But what saved me and what made them trust it is the current rep that I sent it to. Like he can on LinkedIn, it shows you like a little it shows it there.
transcript.
Right,
Yeah,
right, and it shows I don't know if you know this, Kayla, it shows, like, a picture like, you can see it in the thing without clicking on it.
nice.
So, they're like, "Okay, it's legit." So, I think that's what saved me because again, they're very serious on security, but they said they had never heard or seen of that, and they said that most people they said they had, like, received some LinkedIn messages, but most people don't go above and beyond, and
Totally,
again, my manager said, like, "That's exactly what you'd be doing in the role." So,
for
I mean,
sure.
why
I don't
wouldn't we
wanna
hire you?
Yeah, I definitely have, like, I don't wanna be brutal here because
Yeah.
it's I just think there are 500 applications out, and I think probably only 1% really stand out by doing something different. And so,
Yeah.
like, it can be pretty easy if you go above and beyond and you could tell even in your Loom video, like, you'd studied the company, so you knew exactly
Mhm.
how you wanted to, like, showcase and demonstrate that because you got excited about it. And I just
Yeah.
think people are just submitting applications and not even researching the company that they're applying for. So, I really it's, not saying that getting a job is easy by any means. You have to nail all the interview process, but I think what are you doing right at the start to stand out, to even get that first interview, right?
Yeah.
So super important. Well, tell us about Alex. Like you obviously, well, all the weeks are blurring, but at this point, you've
I know.
only a couple of weeks ago, like you're professional nanny. Then you've started, you had a few weeks, like a week off, I think, just to like digest everything, and then you're now currently in your role. So
Yeah.
how's that whole experience been? Like, I'm super excited to hear like day one expectations, like the difference of the world's difference of the industry. Like, tell us all about that.
I mean, okay, so first of all, the prep before my first day, like I had to get some work clothes. I didn't
Yeah.
as a as a nanny, I was wearing like workout clothes. That was my like pretty
Mhm,
much my unofficial uniform. I was just wearing like
mhm,
workout sets every day because you're bending down, you're taking care of kids, you're playing on the floor. Like that was just my uniform basically. So I did not have any professional clothes. So and like even in my prior, and this was years ago, so I would have needed new clothes anyway. But in my prior roles, it's like I would have a work uniform kind of like we had like work shirts that had the brand on it. And then like, I mean, I would have work pants, but
mhm.
really I always wore sneakers too, because it's like being in the shop, working with cars and everything,
Totally.
like you don't want to wear like loafers or dress shoes or, ain't no heels. Good Lord,
Mhm.
definitely not heels. So I had to like revamp. I was like, okay, I need some clothes. So that was first, the first steps. As soon as I signed my offer, I was like, okay, I need some clothes. So got some clothes, got cute little looks together. And on my first day, I was really excited. Like honestly, the night before, I like couldn't sleep. I was so excited. I felt like a
That's
little kid.
awesome.
Like I was just super, and it's crazy because it was a bittersweet moment when I decided to do this. Again, like being a nanny is not like a corporate job. Like you get, you're helping people raise their
Yeah, you're
babies.
emotionally attached. Like, I mean, you're
Yeah.
touching it, but it's like a whole another level. You're seeing them grow.
Yeah, so it's like the attachment is there, the mom cried when I gave my notice, I cried, and
Mhm.
it's just hard, and it's like I'm protective over the girls, like, I love them, I really do, and
Mhm.
I want the best for them, and so I'm protective over them, so I wanted to make sure they were able to find someone good to replace me, so it was a lot of emotion with that. But once their new person started and I had my week off, like it stopped being as sad for me because it's like, okay, I know that they're in good hands. Like it'll be okay. This transition, is coming to an end. So it's like, okay, now I can be excited about my role. So I started getting super excited again, going shopping, getting new clothes, and the night before I could not even sleep. So when I did go to the office, because yeah, my company, I went to the office on Monday morning, and first of all, I was just so impressed with the office. Like, I feel like our office is exactly what you would imagine when you picture a tech office. Like,
Mhm.
again, I had never really heard of the tech industry seriously or tech sales and everything, but it's exactly what you would imagine. There's like floor to ceiling windows, tons of natural light. They have like live plants everywhere that they literally, I found out later, have like someone come every week and like they have to get on the ladder because like we have plants that are really high.
It's very different to like a corporate, like in a
For
box feeling
sure,
office.
for
Yeah.
sure. Oh my gosh, like they have so many desks and everything, and like a lot of them are vacant because my company is remote first. So it's like, you have the option to go in. Headquarters are actually in my city. So, but anyway, so there's like all these desks. They have standing desks, so because they want you to like they don't want you to sit down all the time.
Yeah.
They just have like cool workspaces, like just cool, very cool and unique. Lots of meeting rooms with different types of fun seating, and just, I mean, it fully stocked fridge. They say they cater lunch and breakfast, a few times. Like it was just very cool. So
Mhm.
that was already very cool. And then just the energy when I got there was just amazing. It was exactly what I had imagined. And that was partly why I chose this company, just because yeah, the energy.
Totally. Yeah, you definitely through the interview process, you definitely pick up on the culture that you'll be joining as well, right?
Yeah.
Which draws you to going there. Tell us, before we sort of like round things out, because I want to round things out with obviously what you want as your career as you progress in tech sales as well. Because you've done it obviously through the program a little bit, learned about what's the future opportunities. But tell us about really like what you feel like is helpful for other SDR, BDR starting their first week or two in their role. So I know you've shared a few things that you've already learned and picked up, and would love you to share some wisdom around that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is like at this point, you should be a sponge, like listening in on as many calls as you can. Being excited about just learning about the product too that you'll be selling is huge. I mean, obviously, as an SDR, BDR, it's not our job to close the deal, but we are the first point of contact. So it's like we still need to be fairly educated in what it is that we're selling. So I think that that's huge. Like I'm really trying to lock in on my product knowledge as much as I can because I want to be prepared for questions. And again, it's like some questions, it's like you could obviously say, like, I don't know that. Like our product specialist, in other words, the AE can walk you
Yeah.
further in that. But it's like you want to make sure that you are qualifying leads. And I mean, I just think that's important, but also just going in, being excited, and yeah, I think that's the only about, I mean, I'm only 2 weeks in, so we'll see if I have some more
Yeah,
later.
totally.
But I think that that's
Yeah.
it. Just energy is everything. And I think that just being open minded and excited for what's to come.
Mhm.
And yeah, just listening in and just volunteering to do anything that's going to help you learn.
How are you finding, obviously, when you're a professional nanny, you had to, I assume, go to their place or whatever each day, and then now you're in like a hybrid situation set up. How are you finding that transition?
Oh my God, I love working from home. It's so fun. Like I
Yeah.
feel like it's just a different, I don't want to go back. Like I don't, it's so funny because it's like I've never had a job where I didn't have to go in 5 days a week. So it's like,
Mhm.
but it's just so nice. Like, I feel like it's life changing. Seriously, like I feel like I can get things done during the week. Like I can get my laundry done and stuff. Like I can just do things around my apartment, like things that I would always have to put off to the weekend. Typically, it's like so
Mhm.
I feel like I'm getting my weekends back a little bit because I'm not having to
Yeah.
do the chores. So like that is huge. Not saying like okay for starting SDR BDRs, like don't be upset if you do have to go in the office every day.
Mhm.
Because I do think like there's benefit to that because it's like you get to learn, you get to overhear, reps on calls and everything. So definitely not a bad thing. But if you can get a hybrid situation, at least that is just it's life changing. I love it. I love it. And our office
Totally.
is so cool. So it's like I don't mind going in. Plus, I have some really cute outfits now. So I do want to be seen a little bit. But
Yeah.
but I do enjoy it. I mean, I really enjoy working from home. So
Totally. It's the balance, right? It's like we're all obviously in now outcome based roles, and so obviously there's metrics that you need to hit, but it's a very high responsibility industry where it's like as long as you're doing your role and demonstrating that, I think the hybrid model works very well. And to your point, like I remember too, like it's like actually being able to like reset on your Sunday because like you were able just to quickly turn the laundry on the weekend and then get like it's just like the little things that
yeah,
literally make the longevity of what you're doing
yeah,
so much better. No,
yeah.
that's awesome, Alex. Well, tell us about, to round this out, I would love to hear what are your aspirations in tech sales? You've obviously now been working with obviously a whole bunch of account executives that you've spoken very highly about as well. But where do you see like the next even 12 months to 5 years for you at the moment?
I mean, 12 months, I definitely expect to be in an AE role.
Mhm.
I would love to do that. I mean, I just want to continue to grow within the company and if not the company, just the industry. I really want to, yeah, I think that that's all I can say as of now.
Mhm.
But I do think that this is a good fit for me. Like, I think that I chose correctly because obviously there's so many industries because, my motivation was the money. So just
Yeah.
being honest. So it's like there's so many industries that possibly, could take me to a high level earning level. But I don't
Mhm.
know. I think that this is a good one for me. And even just learning about the company I work for and their story and the prospects that we have and the clients that we have, like it's a good space for me. And
Yeah.
I really do I don't know. I feel like I care. It's so cool. And I think that also like caring about what you sell is huge.
Mhm.
And I think that this can help a lot of businesses. So I'm excited.
Totally.
Yeah.
Super exciting, Alex. No, I think that that's great. And, as you did your research through the interview process, it's you definitely pick up on things that, you can get behind. And absolutely, there's, as you would have seen, like there is actually so many opportunities and so many companies to work for. But I do think
Yeah.
it has to fit the blend of like obviously money being one, but culture and then like lifestyle. And so
Hmm.
of course we can give the roadmap of like this company's better than that, but then every person's life is different, right? So you've got to
Yeah.
then match it with all those things. And I think you got a super bright future ahead of you, and you're only 2 weeks in,
Thank
and I'm
you.
excited to see where 12 months is from now.
Oh my gosh, you and me both. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Awesome, Alex. Well, thanks for joining us on the potty, and I look forward to having you back in 12 months' time.
Oh my God, maybe 6 months. We'll just see.
That's I think we need a little quarter update at this point.
Yeah.